All right. I think I'm live, and I'm early this time. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's a new me. All right. So if you can hear me and you can see me, say what's up in the chat, please.
Is lights good and everything?
Yeah. Nice. Okay. So people can see, people can hear. What's up, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Nice. The comments are coming in. Okay, sweet. Nice to see everybody. I didn't have any technical difficulties this time. Hallelujah. So, yeah, Saturday here, noon, and I just wanted to hang out with you guys. So, real quick update first. Just want to let you guys know that the plant-based bundle is available for sale right now. So, I'm sure you guys have heard about it from other like content creators and stuff, but I'll tell you about it really quickly here, just a couple minutes, and we'll get just a couple seconds. We'll get on with it. Over 80 recipe ebooks, workout programs, and plans to help you on your plant-based journey. There's over $2,000 worth of content if you were to buy the like all on its own, but we know no one's gonna do that. So it's $50 all together, and you guys gotta check it out. If you're struggling with like recipes or like workout plans and stuff like that, there's something in it for everybody. There's even like a keto book in there, which everyone always asks me for keto recipes, and I never have any idea. So definitely go check out that. There's like seriously something for everyone. Juicing stuff, raw food books in there. It is absolutely amazing. So much content. You will never, need another recipe again. But yeah, that's it. And my ebook is in there. But however, if you've already purchased my ebook, and you get it through my link that is in the description box for the bundle, I do get a kickback from that still, and yeah, and it's pretty amazing. And everyone else whose ebooks in there also gets a kickback from it. So how we did it is just like a bunch of us got together, put our ebooks into a big bundle, and then we can sell it to everybody at a discounted price. So it works out, everybody wins, and yeah, just appreciate it. If you guys are interested, you can check it out. They also have like a gift option as well, so you could send it to somebody as a gift for, for Christmas or whatever they want. So we got Crystal here.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's like skew. Oh my God, it's like evenly spaced. It's like muffins, me, Crystal, in order of importance. All right, so hey, what's up from New Zealand? Hello from Tolland, CT. Is that Connecticut, CT? I don't know.
I don't know.
Hi from Sweden. Hello, hello. All right. Hey, everybody. So, yeah, we got 300 people hanging out with us this morning. 303. Pretty amazing. So, let me start answering some questions. What you drinking, guys? Somebody wants to know.
Oh, I'm having a little bit of decaf coffee with some oat milk, and then I have some water.
Nice.
Just on the ground, and then I'm not sure what you're drinking over there.
This is just like some Merc. I don't know.
A little urine therapy. I'm just kidding.
I had some BCAAs in here and like a little lemon or something as well. And it's just like water. So it's mostly just water. It just looks
protein.
And I put this on it because Crystal always like dumps out my water like jug, my container here. So I had to put a little sign on it that said, please don't throw this out. I'm drinking it.
Well, to be fair, it's usually like this much water in a massive mason jar that's just randomly left around the house. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to clean that out.
No, but I'm going to refill it. Doesn't need cleaning. Okay, here,
anyways,
let's move over a little bit.
Our relationship, how fun.
Let's move over a bit so we can both get into the center. So, all right, everybody. Thank you guys for joining. So let's do some questions. Okay, this is a cool one. Right away from, there's no, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that name. There's no vowels in it. But
but that's like a cool thing to do. Is put like an X where the O is supposed to be. I feel you. I know, I'm down.
So he said, can you help me to gain weight? I'm only 12 and I'm really skinny and I want to gain more weight. Can you please help? So the thing is, when you're that age, it is really hard to put on like, unless you're like a big boned person, it's really hard. No, like,
12? There's so many things going on.
Yeah, there's like it wasn't until I was probably 25 that I started to get like thicker like muscles. Yeah. Like I was thin. Oh, yeah. And even when I was like in my early 20s, like, I started to put on a little bit of weight around the midsection and stuff. And it wasn't like going into my shoulders and, into my muscles so much. So It's tough at 12. I mean, you can do as much as you can to like, eat a lot of a healthy diet, make sure you get enough protein, lift heavy, but they're really, I wouldn't say like, go take like, creatine or anything like that. Like it's not really going to help you because you're just, your hormones, and your body's just not developed yet. So,
it's a nice problem to have, to be honest, when you're young, because when you get older, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just be kind to yourself. I mean, once you turn, once you get 13, 14, and then 16, and then you get into your early, like, things change.
Your later teens.
Hormones really change. And so right now, just like have fun, eat really well. But like, don't force these like expectations on yourself. Yeah.
So someone wants to know, what are the current restrictions in Canada? Yeah, because we're all kind of dealing with this, right? And it's kind of it's interesting to know what's going on in different places around the world. So it's sort of different, like province to province here in Canada, but it's right now where we are on Vancouver Island. They just mandated like masks, like fully indoors, like no matter what. So that's like gyms and everything, and they've also shut down any sort of classes, so yoga classes and stuff like that.
Non-essential travel.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then they've mandated that, businesses operate at half capacity and that sort of stuff.
So yeah, so they can, or if people have to be, working from home if they're able to.
Yeah. So all that sort of stuff. There's other places around Canada that have much stricter restrictions, like in Manitoba. They're only available. You're only allowed to buy essential items right now.
It's really
just like
interesting.
Wild. Like who deems what essential, but I don't want to get into it. So that's kind of how it is now. The bigger cities seem to be a little bit, the lockdowns seem to be a little bit tighter there. Not that, we're just like willy nilly here, not listening to the things, but it seems like it happens in the cities and then it kind of like trickles out. So we're kind of, we kind of live in a small town. However, where we live is kind of unique because it's like the oldest average population in all of Canada. It's a retirement town. Like we have gray hairs everywhere. So people are really scared. So it's something that as a young person here, I have to be, mindful of
there's an older demographic who are obviously more at risk of having complications. So
yeah.
So,
okay. What are the plants you have in your backyard? Well, right now,
not many right now.
Yeah,
they're all dying.
So just like some kale and some other like hardy greens that are growing, but like I'm not even bothering like picking them because
they're like sticks.
Yeah, they're
literally sticks.
So yeah, we're not eating it unfortunately right now. Yeah.
We had this grand idea to have like all these beautiful kale plants for the winter that they were gonna like winter with us, and we're gonna be able to like maintain them, and it just did not turn out.
Someone wanted to know, they said, I missed the start plant-based bundle through a Derek link. Yeah, the link should be in the description box down below. If not, I have it on my Instagram stories, but I believe I did put it there yesterday. So it should be in the description.
Check it out. It's an amazing deal. I was looking at the ebooks yesterday. I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many good ebooks in here. So good.
So, okay, keep the questions coming, guys. We will answer them as much as we can. Alan Carr wants to know, do you have a 350Z or a 370? Neither. Trick question. I have a Fair Lady Z because it's a JDM model, but yeah, it's a 350Z. It's an old soul. This one you can get. It's a 2004. The DE.
She's our baby, actually.
Yeah, it's my girl. Can you recommend any recipes for the Vivolife gingerbread flavor? Yeah, so Vivolife just came out with a new flavor. So for you that don't know, Vivolife is a plant-based supplement company that I work as an ambassador for. They have like the best stuff on the market, in my opinion. That's why I work with them. All heavy metal tested, pesticide tested, purity tested, always vegan, all that sort of, I don't have to sell it all, but so they just came out with a new flavor and it's gingerbread spice. It's really good. It's not overly powerful, but it's rich. It's got a good flavor. So it's like cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg, I think it is. No, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg are them, no cardamom. And it's great. What I did with it is I like to put it in, I did like oats the other day. And once the oats are done cooking, I mixed in some of that. And it was really good.
Yeah, we're not big fans on cooking with protein powder though. So we don't have a lot of other recipes. Like, we make smoothies with it and we'll make oats. I have put protein powder in like cookies or baked goods, but I don't find that it really adds anything to it. So I don't really have any other recipes. No. You could try to make like gingerbread cookies with it, but protein powder is just, it's not the easiest thing to cook with. And then also, you know, there's a little bit of stevia in it. So when you bake it, we do find that you can have a little bit more of that like stevia taste.
Yeah, but hey,
just try it. Yeah, just
tastes are different. Try
it. You just throw it in.
I love it in just like a smoothie. Like I'll just make like my regular banana date whatever smoothie. Throw an extra chunk of ginger in there if you want, and it's like it's really dang good. So there you go. Thank you for the question.
Someone had a really great question.
Yeah.
They asked us what our health plans or our goals were in the next year or like in a few years from now, or like what we're working on like health wise, or if we have any goals or something. I thought that was kind of a cool question.
Yeah. Man, my health goals. I just want to continue to like, you know, get healthier, get fitter, and, you know, not like succumb to like aging. Like I'm 37 now, if you guys, you know, I had my birthday the other day. And yeah, my goals are just to continue to get healthier so I can keep doing the things I love. Like lately we've just like fell in love with mountain biking, and I've always biked all my life, but now I'm trying to like progress at it. And I'm realizing when I'm out there, like how the strength that I have and like the cross training that I've done translates to that. And like I'm learning stuff like so quickly. So that's my whole thing. Like I just want to stay healthy and fit so I can do the other things that I love. So like all the preparation that I do in the gym and the runs that I go on and stuff, as much as I like those, it's just like prepares me for, you know, to do other things in my life. Like I'm like, you know, screaming up hills on my bike, you know, whereas like other people that, you know, are like, you know, struggling, and here I am, I just like do more runs in the day sort of. But at the same time, there's people that'll, you know, pass me on the way up as well. And then, you know, of course, if you guys follow my Instagram, planche for the year, what is it, 2028 probably? I'll get the planche
for 2028. So watch next 8 years, Derek's gonna get a planche. For me, I want to, like, this year has been so different. You know, we would go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week, right? And then this year happened and I didn't feel comfortable, and then the gym's actually shut down. So I started working out from home. And so my thing now is I kind of want to build more like functional strength, I guess. So working on more like calisthenics, so push-ups and pull-ups and stuff like that, because I think that's really fundamental. But as you know, as a woman, my upper body strength isn't that strong, and those movements don't come naturally to me. So I've been trying to do like push and pull days and that kind of thing, but yeah, we'll see. They're really hard, those movements. So it's gonna be like a few years in the making that I can hopefully be able to do like a couple pull-ups in a row or something.
You don't give yourself enough credit. You've gotten a lot stronger like really quickly.
Yeah.
So no, trust me, you'll get there. You'll get there. And a pull-up, it feels so hard until you can do one.
Hard, yeah.
That's the thing. It's like it's so hard, right? And then when you can do one, it's like I can do one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'd love to get to Derek's level one day. I don't think I ever will, but how fun would it be if we could be like the calisthenic couple, and I'm doing like archer pull-ups and like typewriter pull-ups and all this kind of stuff.
It'd be sweet.
Anyways, that's probably the 10 years in the making if I stick to it.
Lost Voyager asked if he can have 1 cup of spinach or 1 serving of spinach per day without worrying about stones. So the thing with kidney stones is that it is quite like there's definitely a genetic component to it.
Yes.
So if you're predisposed to kidney stones, then you might want to like be mindful of that. But 1 serving a day
of spinach,
it should be totally fine. However, if you're eating like super like the rest of your diet's like high oxalate foods as well, you know, tons of, what else is it, like tons
beets,
of,
I think, like beet greens
really
high in oxalates.
If you're eating like straight beet greens, cacao like all day and stuff, and like maybe, so there's other factors as well if you're not drinking a lot of water, like that sort of thing. But you know, if you're having an otherwise healthy diet, yeah, great. But it's always a good idea to rotate your greens. So we got this
our man.
Yeah, this is really kind. So always forget to say we have there's like super chats where you can like you can make a small donation if you want, or a big donation in the case of some people, and your question pops up, so you know we see it a little bit more than the other ones. We'll try and answer them all. It is not necessary. If you guys don't want to, please just ask, and I'll do as many free questions as I can. But we always appreciate this. So Goji Man, he just says no questions, but just wanted to say I love what you guys do. Keep it up.
We love what you do too.
Yeah. He's a good guy. He's doing a lot of really like good work, stuff that I would like to speak about, but a lot of the time I feel like it's a little bit over my head, and you know, I leave it for the people like Goji Man who are good at it. So if you guys have struggled with like digestion, or you know, sort of like the minutia of that, definitely go check out his channel because he's really helpful. There you go, Goji Man. Got your plug.
And we have a really great question from Kurt. Thank you so much for the super chat. And he asks,
super nice.
What are your thoughts on intermittent fasting? And then will you ever do a workout program?
Okay, great. So thanks, Kurt. As like a more than really generous
of you.
More than generous donations. Like, so like I don't even know how to describe that when people just like give their money to me. Like, I just wanted to hang out with you guys, and I actually get a lot out of this as well. So this is amazing. So yeah, the first question was, what are your thoughts on intermittent fasting? I like intermittent fasting. I think right off the bat, it seems to be there's more science about it being beneficial for guys than for girls, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
So just, keep in mind, and as my friend Nimai often said, Nimai Delgado, just name dropping a little bit, but he says with things like this, it's just another tool in the toolbox.
Yes.
So it's not the thing that's going to get you fitter, leaner, stronger, this and that, but it is definitely a tool in the toolbox to add to that. So I think it's great. And I know for myself, when I was the leanest, the most shredded, and, like my biggest, I was intermittent fasting. And and like, I got to get back to it because I know, for me, the best benefits come like after 7 o'clock is when I do some of my cheekiest eating. Let's just say that. Like, I'm not reaching for celery sticks.
Yeah, you're not like, give me more salad.
Yeah, give me more salad. Like,
yo, where's the ice cream?
Yeah, I'm like, yo, give me that bread and peanut butter.
Yeah, give me that coconut bliss.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, that's really good. And then, just understanding that when you wake up in the morning, you don't have to eat something like right away. If it takes a little bit of time to get your body kind of used to that. But another thing too with intermittent fasting is if it doesn't work for your schedule, don't try and force it too much.
No.
Like I have people that are like, all right, Derek, I wake up at 5 a.m. and I work at I work out at 5:30 and then I'm at work by 7 and I'm like so hungry, but I'm trying not to eat until noon. And then I can't focus on my work. And it's like, not for you. Maybe you could try fasting at a different time, but I think there's definitely benefits to it. And also a ton of benefits to letting our digestive tract, or our GI tract rest, because we're constantly feeding it and it's constantly being stressed. So I think that's another big factor for it as well. Anything to say? I should let you talk a little bit here.
For women, I mean, Derek's right. The science for women being in a fasted state is not really as positive. It can put us into a state where our body kind of goes into that, depending on how much you're eating every day, your body can easily slip into a state where it's like, I'm not getting food. And then you can have menstrual cycle irregularity. So not good. And then the other thing too is when you're in a fasted state, your cortisol and stuff like that can also be heightened. And so if you are a high stress person, might not also be good. And then of course, I think this goes without saying, if you have a history of disordered eating or you have a poor relationship with food already, don't try intermittent fasting. It's not for you. Just do your thing. Keep intuitively eating. That is what's going to be healthiest for you. I know I was intermittent fasting for a very long period of time and I kept pushing the window. You want to make that window smaller and it can become very obsessive. So I don't intermittent fast really anymore. I just intuitively eat and it works great for me. I feel actually a lot better and a lot stronger in my workouts when I eat before my workouts in the morning. So just want to let you guys know that.
Sweet. Yeah, maybe I'll get back on that intermittent fasting game. I think I probably should. So the other question he had, will Derek ever do a workout program for us Simnetters? Very cool. I do want to. And I know I'm so behind the ball with this. We are working on our second recipe book right now. We're working really hard on it. I know that's maybe a couple years behind, but we're doing our best. I don't want to rush these things, and it just has to flow. Yeah. So that we're going to do that. And then after that, that's going to be one of the projects I'm working on. I definitely want to, because like I said before in these things, I've definitely seen these plans and bought plans off people where I find that they're overly complicated. People want to, do things that are different just for the sake of having something different. But what I did when I gained most of my muscle, when I started out working out,
essentials, the basics.
I did the basics, and I was just I was painfully consistent and I worked out so hard. And that's really what it takes. And, so I feel a little bit guilty. I would feel guilty making one because I feel there is no secret to it. It's just doing the basics and doing them repetitively. But yeah, there are some sort of things that I could definitely work into there, you know, with different like supersets that make sense, and different like rep ranges and stuff in order, and like I guess there's like different variations of movements that people might not think about, because with calisthenics it's like you can do something like you can do a push-up, but if your arms are elevated and you're doing it like on the side of a bench or couch or something, it's going to be a lot easier than if you're just doing it on the floor, or then you can make it even harder by putting your legs up and doing it like that. So there's all sorts of stuff like that, and I would like to one day. I really would like to. It would be amazing. I'd love to influence and inspire people to follow a plan like that and get healthier and fit. So yeah, thanks for the the idea and the suggestion and the super nice question. So somebody asked, the question came and went, but okay, first we'll do this one. Jonathan Campbell says, Crystal, I love your hair.
Thank you. I know getting bangs is I feel like it was such a big thing. And at first I was like, oh, I don't know. And then now I'm like, oh, I like them.
I like it. I think it's cute.
Frames
I like
the face a little bit.
Yeah, I like it anyway you do it, but it's cute. I really got to quickly say, somebody on one of the videos that we just did, they commented, and they were not a English first language speaker, so not making fun. I just love this. They were like, Crystal, I love your new hair, and they call it your front hair. They said, we love your new front hair. I'm like, I like that front hair too. I think that was amazing. Front hair is so nice. And then he was like, well, what? And then someone was like, we don't call it that. And then there was like, what do you call it? And someone said bangs, and then he was like, oh, is it okay if I go up to a girl and say, I like your bang? I was like, well, yeah, they might get it, but it's also kind of weird to say. But that's amazing. So somebody else asked what my thoughts on kombucha were. And that was a super chat. I'm sorry I didn't get to your name, but I did read it, and I appreciate it. With kombucha, I've kind of flip-flopped a little bit on kombucha. Like when I first kind of went plant-based, and I was just trying all the superfoody things, like just get it all, get the coconut oil in my smoothie, get the everything. Yeah. I was like, yeah, let's do the kombucha. And then for a while I thought, maybe, caffeine, sugar, and some like wild fermented like SCOBY thing, maybe, shouldn't be what we're consuming. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of neutral on it. I think that it's not necessarily like, again, it's not like not going to rocket you towards health, but at the same time, I don't think it's like a terrible thing to have every once in a while. I'll have it every so often. Like if, rather than like wine, fun, like wine at dinner or something like that, I'll, bring a bottle of kombucha, that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about sort of like the science and stuff behind it to really speak that intelligently on it.
Yeah, I think there's if you're looking at kombucha for more like gut health purposes, because I know a lot of people want to include more fermented foods. I think something like sauerkraut, or like a fermented, obviously dairy-free like yogurt or something might be more beneficial, or just eating like high fiber foods, because fiber is what actually your gut flora, they eat the fiber, and that's how they build and grow and create like a healthy gut microbiome. So fiber is really important. So I don't know, at the end of the day, like kombucha's important too. I mean, it's like a fun drink to have, but I don't think it's going to, compared to everything else you can do for your gut, I don't know if it's going to just, like Derek said, like rocket you to gut health. It can also be very hard on the enamel of your teeth, which I read about in a book about gut health. And so it's always good if you are drinking lots of kombucha, water it down. Or water it down so it's not so like
water it. That's like telling me to have carob when I want chocolate. Like
I know. Well, I mean, that's for someone who drinks it a lot.
I know. It's about that bite.
Yeah, I know, but it can, and a lot of people do worry about their teeth and enamel and stuff like that. So just something to be mindful of.
Okay. Oh, we got another super chat.
Kopo.
From Kopo.
Thank you so much.
Just a donation.
That's
thank you.
So sweet.
Appreciate that. So let's go. Oh man, there's some long questions here. Hey, sweethearts. Hey, this is from Shade. What do you think about mock meat? How often do you consume it? Max. Okay. So yeah, mock meat, obviously not a whole food, obviously not the healthiest things that we should be eating. There's various, there's a whole sliding scale of mock meats though, like everything from, like a texturized soy protein or vegetable protein to, the most crazy chemical concoction ever, right? So there's definitely sort of like a scale there. Yeah. I think for the most part, it can be really helpful, of course, during like transition, when you're transitioning from an omnivorous diet to a plant-based diet. It can be really nice for situations where you're like going to like a barbecue or something like that.
So just see family or just
Remember when barbecues were like a thing?
Oh yeah, no, so we don't do that anymore. So but it can be also really nice just like once in a while to have something like that.
Yeah, so sometimes I'm just looking at all like I'm just like looking at dinner and it's just like, like this grains and beans and everything. And I'm like, yeah, I want this, but like I need something else.
I want a little gardine in there or something.
So I'll have it. But I kind of make the rule where it's like, I don't just have like the whole package of it. I always try and like split it up. And then I always make sure that it's only a small percentage of my plate or the meal if I'm mixing it into something. Like I try not to make that the star of the show. So yeah, it's amazing. Like all these things are out here. Like when I first went vegan, you as well, like 10 years ago, there was like,
good luck.
Very few products on the shelf. And for a long time, I didn't need any of this stuff at all. And I was like, no, I don't need it. They're not even good enough. And then I just went about along my merry way. And then all these things started coming out and I opened up that door and it's like, oh man, now I just want to try them all. So yeah, I don't know, like try to eat it in as much moderation as you can. If you don't crave it and you don't want it at all, then you're better off for sure. But yeah, it can, if you're trying to bump up your protein, stuff like that, they are often really rich in protein. So it can be helpful as well. Yeah, I think that probably answered it good. So let's go. Yeah, we're down. Okay. Oh, so the Larissa G, this is kind of a fun question. What did you guys do for work before YouTube? Okay, well, if I'm going to tell the whole story, you guys kind of sit back and get comfy, but I won't.
Tell the whole story.
I won't, because I've honestly had
Derek's had like every job,
a lifetime of jobs, like everything you can think of, I've done it. So yeah, I've been out there, man. But just before this, I was working in marketing and public relations. That's what I was doing for many years, and that's what pushed me to this. I was like promoting products that I knew were bad for the environment, that were bad for our health, and I was sitting there having to push somebody else's message of like, hey, try this like Danone yogurt. It's got probiotics, and like it's like I just, it started to eat away at me. So then one day I'm like, I got to take control of all of this and put out the message that I want to. And then at the time I was also working at a supplement store. It was like a natural health food store / supplement store. And I know I've said it on these lives before, but that was like one of the most helpful jobs for me when I was becoming a nutritionist to like,
you learn so much.
To learn so much and to practice speaking with people about it. And like every time somebody come in, they'd be like, I have, this is what I'm looking to get. I want a little bit more, energy with the workouts and this and that. And like, here's what I'm currently eating. And you have to kind of like figure it all out and help them out. Right. So I really liked that. It was a stressful job, but it was really fun. So that's kind of what I did before that. But, before, I don't know, I worked at a skateboard shop. I don't know. I could go on forever. Soccer refereeing. I did pine cone picking. I worked as a server at restaurants for a long time. That was like that was a weird time in my life. Anyways, and then Crystal, why don't you tell us what you did? Because you kind of were doing something cool before you started to help me. So Crystal helps me full time now because I just like can't keep my stuff together. So she does that for me. And it's like super helpful. But yeah, honestly, Simnett Nutrition is just like at the point it's big enough now where I can't manage all the emails, DMs from like, all the different things and the Facebook group that we have and, all that. So it's amazing that we're able to both do this together. Like every day we wake up and we just like say how lucky we are. And we're like, this is like so amazing. But it took a lot of time to do this. And we took a lot of leaps. We were dead broke, poor for many, many years. We started this all on like a shoestring budget. So yeah, go after your dreams, guys. But what did you do before you helped me?
I worked in healthcare. So I trained as a practical nurse and worked in healthcare for, when did I graduate? I graduated in 2009. So from 2009 until a couple years ago, I worked as a practical nurse and also did some like healthcare kind of other jobs like care aid and stuff like that. But yeah, lots of healthcare experience. I worked mostly in, I did a little bit of home care, but mostly in either long-term care or like home care kind of stuff. So yeah.
And then before that though, you worked at a clinic.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I always, yeah. And so I also worked at a naturopath clinic when Derek and I were living in Vancouver, which was really cool because that was very different than what I was like used to working in. And I learned a lot as well. I learned a lot about
Chinese
like
medicine,
taking care of your body like holistically with like supplements. And then yes, I learned about acupuncture and Chinese medicine, which is amazing, as well as just a lot of other things. So and
you used to give me my B12 shots.
Yeah, well, in here.
No. Oh yeah, here. That's something else.
but yeah, there was like that kind of IV therapy.
Oh
so,
my
God.
God.
Yeah, it was really. Yeah, it's crazy how all this experience has kind of like played into our lives and stuff like that.
Yeah, it is. It's like, yeah, it's kind of like an artist, like how they've, been, I don't know. No, I'm not an artist, but it's like, yeah, we've been like all the skills that we picked up throughout our life
helped us get to this
have brought us to this point. And for like years, I was, just messing around with like video editing and stuff like that. And then eventually it became my job. It was pretty amazing. Something really powerful. No, I'm not going to actually. Well, okay. A long time ago when I was unemployed, I was told to write down 5 things that I want in my dream job. And I wrote those things down. Just want to let you guys know because it's so powerful to write stuff down. And I said that I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to be a teacher and inspire others. I wanted to work with food. I wanted photography to be part of it. And I wanted there to be no cap on my salary. And this was like, I don't know now, 13, 14 years ago, maybe even. No, it was probably 10, 12, 13 years ago.
True. Yeah. Like it's all comes full circle and like,
I get goosebumps every time because I didn't even remember writing it. And then I found that paper. I don't know where it is now. I wish I could, but I found it and I remember reading it and it was just like, my heart stopped. I was like, holy crap, this has all come true. So Clay, could you beat up vegan gains?
Yeah. That was a super chat.
That's
you
a
really
super
want
chat.
us to
Somebody paid $2.80 for me to tell them that Richard is like a full foot taller than me and probably 100 pounds heavier. So I'd have to catch. I'd have to catch him. Yeah, no, but I'd have to catch him on a bad day. I'd have to catch him on a really bad day.
We're not be fighting anyone.
I definitely I would definitely couldn't beat up Richard Vegan Gains. It's so funny. Nor would I ever try. Hey, Green Cuisine in Victoria is so good. Thanks for the recommendation. So yeah, that's one of our favorite places.
You're welcome, Lucas.
Lucas,
so good.
Yeah, did we tell him in person? Who was that, Lucas?
I think we've just talked about Green Cuisine in a few videos before.
I know.
Because every time we go down to Victoria, we're just like, I'm gonna eat all the cookies and all the food.
Yeah, Green Cuisine's.
We've had a few videos with Green Cuisine in there.
Man, this is really fun. I love doing this. Like, thanks, Crystal, for hanging out and joining us.
Yeah,
and thank you guys for we have 722 people watching right now. I think that's the most we've ever had. So, huge shout out. Thank you guys. I appreciate it so much. The date and nut ball mix goes great in oatmeal, says Vicky's Restorations. What are you restoring?
No, he's had, he messaged us before in the other chat.
Oh, wow. Yes.
He does tool restoration.
That's right. I'm love working my hands. Anytime anyone's got a profile looks like they do that, I'm like, what do you do?
I don't know if he means the date and nut ball mix, if that means the apple cinnamon ones that we just did, or maybe, that would be amazing.
Yeah, you could crumble it for sure.
What a great.
Another job I used to have, I was an electrician. There's another one, it's endless.
So there's been a few questions. First, the one question is when did Simnett Nutrition really kick off?
Okay.
When did it become kind of profitable? And then if we have any tips for people who are starting out on YouTube, or is there anything that we implemented that we really noticed that had a really great effect on followers and stuff like that?
Right. So when I started the channel, it was just simply to drive traffic towards my consulting services. So there was really no pressure on me to make the channel blow up, and that was never my intent. Not saying it's blown up, but I mean it's bigger than I ever imagined it would be, right?
Yeah.
And the idea was just to give a little bit of free information, tell people about plant-based diet, drop some hints here and there, show some recipes, and then at the end of the video, it's like, hey, I do consulting. If you want my services, check it out. That's an amazing way to start a channel. So right there, if you have something sort of to offer or whatever, just that's it. And find your niche, right? And that's it. And don't be scared.
Big thing.
Yes, that is it. Because don't be scared to really drive home that message that this is your niche. This is what you're all about. You're excited about it. So I've always said this, but if you go to somebody, or if you're trying to get help and you find somebody who's you know, yeah, try and help people like kind of, you know, maybe lose weight or just get healthier, eat some healthy foods, you know, then you're kind of like, okay, maybe they could help me. And then you find someone like me or whatever. I don't know. Maybe not me, but
Like
someone
me.
that's like, yo, I'm out here today. I'm exercising. I'm running. It's raining out here, but you know, I just know I had to get out. And this is what you got to do sometime to be healthy. If you guys want my help, you want to get some of this inspiration, motivation, check out my whatever. All of a sudden you're like, holy crap, give me a piece of that. I want to be running in the rain and actually be happy about it, right? So you got to really evoke emotion, and that's a big thing, right? And so find your niche. Mine was sort of like, you know, spreading positivity, being outside in nature, appreciating all those things, calisthenics and plant-based nutrition. And I just kind of like formed that into my niche.
Formed it
right?
into a nut and date ball.
Yeah.
I was like, here you go.
So that's really it. Use your passions, you know, and so it's kind of like you find a bigger niche like nutrition and plant-based eating, and then you kind of narrow it down to really evoke emotion and passion in people. So when did the channel start to explode, or not explode? When did I just become super popular? No, when did the channel grow? Was when I started to do a full day of eating videos was really it, wasn't it? And I think it was was it?
Man, I don't even remember.
It was one. It was a thumbnail. It was one thumbnail.
Something happened. And
where
I was holding
I was holding a plate of food,
right,
and it was really bright and colorful. And there was, you know, like all these veggies around me, and it was just like that. And it was just like a good picture of me. I looked super healthy and vibrant, and I had a tan. And it was that video. And it was actually at that video that, once it started to grow, I started to get calls from, you know, different supplement companies, you know, different influencers that reached out and were like, hey man, I see what you're doing. Like if you need a little help or you want some coaching, that's actually when John Venus reached out to me, and he was like, hey man, like I see you're doing really good. You could maybe use a little bit more direction. And he helped me, and it was like, amazing. And it was at that point too, I started to get asked to be on other people's channels as well. And I was taking all those opportunities to be, you know, a guest on other people's channels, do that sort of stuff. So yeah, that really helped. Collaborations and stuff really helped it grow. I don't know how, I think they're still really beneficial, especially for like smaller channels to share your audience. I think it is really helpful. But that was it. And it wasn't any special video. I'd done videos before that I was more proud of that I thought were better. But that's the thing. You got to just like, you got to put in your time. And, you know, people worry that, you know, about their first video or the second video. And it's like, honestly, just get it up because no one's going to watch it. It's going to be your 10th, your 15th, your 50th video that might take off. So just start throwing darts at the dartboard and see what sticks. And then that's another thing. And that was some information I got from some of my now friends that were telling me, when you see a video do well, stick with it. And just keep, you know, do that exact video, replicate the thumbnail. And I was like, man, that just seems so repetitive. Why would anybody want to watch that? But that's what it was. If people respond to it, do it again, give it to them because that's what they want. And that's what I did. Yeah.
So we had a few other questions. One of them, we missed the name, but this is from CK Limited. Cool, because that's my initials.
Yeah.
They say, loved your pizza video. Can't wait for the new ebook to come out. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's really sweet. That pizza video was so fun. It was the first time we ever made pizza. So like, I want you guys to just like be kind if you go and watch that video. Not everyone was like that kind in the comments. Some people were like, man, you did it wrong. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Well, yeah, it
was our first time.
When you're, that's another thing when you're online, you open yourself up to criticism.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Be okay with people maybe criticizing your point of view or your opinion or like what you're doing or whatever.
It's really helped me, like, kind of like not ego, but like pride. I had like a ton of pride, and I still do, but so much pride that like I would, any sort of even constructive criticism when I was younger, like my hockey coach, they would say like, hey, Derek, like, you know, do this. And if it was in like even the slightest, like roughest, like tone, I'd be like, I was sensitive. Yeah. But hey, get on YouTube and that goes away.
Yeah, you just can't be sensitive.
No, but people are, this channel, you guys know, everyone's like super supportive and really nice.
Everyone's been so great.
Yeah, but it's amazing. Some of the negative feedback you get is the most important stuff. Like I'd get, you know, people saying, hey, Derek, you know, volume's too loud in your video. Can't hear you. Not watching this. Unsubbed. And I'm like, okay, ouch. But thank you. I'll lower the volume of the music. Amazing. So those are it's funny because those are the ones that are going to help you the most.
There was another, we missed the name, but there's another super chat that was from someone who said that I think they've gone vegan a couple times or something, but they found that they had trouble because they kept feeling lost and that the meals felt bland and stuff. And so I just wanted to say, I don't know if you've checked out Derek's like recipes or like, I'm not sure, but getting to know the kitchen and getting to know like ingredients that can make your food more flavorful. I mean, like sauces and dressings are like your best friend.
Yeah.
Derek has so many recipe videos that are just so great for making your food not bland. And I know that because I'm the type of person that used to eat like really bland food because I was like, I don't know how to make a sauce or a dressing, so I'll just eat like dry salad. and then we met and Derek was like, why are you eating dry salad? Like, let's spice that up. And that's something that can be easy to fall into if you don't really know your way around the kitchen or you're just not very maybe experimental. So just like have fun. I think that's the funnest thing is having fun in the kitchen. Not everything's going to work.
Don't be afraid to mess up.
Don't be afraid to mess up, but enjoy yourself in the kitchen. Find inspiration. So find people whose eating style that you like they make good vegan recipes that you find it inspiring and that you can like copy. And YouTube is so great for that. There's so many recipes online. Also,
try out like different spice mixes in stores because like I'd never even heard about Ras Al Hanout. Whatever, you guys can correct me. I never heard about that before. One day I just bought it at Waitrose when we were in the UK. I tried it and I was like, where has this been my whole life? And so, you know, rather than me trying to find all those spices and eventually one day putting them together, it's like you just buy that. And then, you know, you can kind of look and see the spices they put in there and you can be like, oh, like I'm going to try and buy these individually and maybe mix them differently or whatever. So yeah, that's really helpful. If you're watching right now, somebody recently sent us a big package of spice.
Ras Al Hanout that they had made.
That somebody had made street side.
Yeah, in front of them.
In India, I think it was. Yeah. I believe or was it Turkey? I don't know where it's from, but wherever it was, it's really nice that they sent us that. It's really cool.
Another question from Dean. This is a really great question, actually. Thoughts on recovering from workouts, like progressive overload workouts, on top of a physically demanding job? That's tough.
Such as working in the trades.
That can be tough.
That was when I was an electrician.
Another job, he said.
Yeah, no, and all day I was like, you're just swinging hammers, and I'm like twisting wires and like screwing in stuff, and the end of the day, I'd come home and my hands were just so tired. I remember I was trying to learn guitar at the time, and I was just like, oh, my hands are so tired. And actually actually switching to a plant-based diet, you know, you're probably on this, but switching to a plant-based diet and eating lots of anti-inflammatory foods actually helped me with that. And I found that as soon as I made that switch, because it was actually kind of during that time when I first started to transition to veganism, that was like 12, 13 years ago now. That was a real, you know, big help for me, was just like keeping my diet really on point, eating lots of anti-inflammatory foods, lots of turmeric, black pepper, as you guys know. Man. So that's tough. It's hard to know because you just want like whatever. I don't know. You just have to squeeze it in. Like, do you have any tips on that? Because you could try
recovery from workouts when you have a demanding job.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously eating like enough, that's really important. Really, really important for recovery is eating enough. Sleeping well, super important.
Yes.
Understanding that you're probably gonna have DOMs no matter what when you're progressively overloading in your workouts. And I mean, DOMs suck and it's not fun to be sore and stuff, but it's the name of the game when you're ripping your muscles apart. I've heard that, I mean, BCAAs potentially might be able to help. Does glutamine help with recovery? Is that one of the things, or is that more?
I think that's more gut, but I think it can help as well with recovery.
I've heard maybe that as well.
Yeah, and I think like caffeine helps with DOMs as well, but it's not like that's not how you want to be like doing it. But you know what actually I find helps, and I don't think this like the science or whatever is out on it. Bro science alert.
Bro science.
But rolling with a foam roller.
Right.
Like I know for me, leg day is like really hard on my legs. I just absolutely smash it, and I only do it like once every month or so. So I try to do it more, but I get bad DOMs in my legs, and I find that if I can roll it out as soon as possible, get that blood moving, and if I go for a jog first, get that blood flow, then come back, roll out, stretch a little bit, roll out. That can be really helpful. That's more just like specifically for DOMs. That's not like you're too tired. You know. Just like I always say, the hardest part is lacing up the shoes, getting out of the house. So, you know, at the end of the work day, you're home, you're tired. If you can just get started doing something, then you're ahead of the game. I wish I had a better answer for you. DOMS, what are DOMS? People ask. DOMS are delayed onset muscle soreness. So it's just like, when you start a new workout routine or you do something you've never done before and it's like your muscles like feel like they're bruised to the touch. That's what DOMS are. Yeah. Taquito asked, do I still exercise on an empty stomach? So the intermittent fasting. You know what? I used to absolutely love doing it. I still do love doing it. I don't anymore. And the reason being is because now I get up and I do a little bit of work. And I think it's just because my workload has increased that I feel like I have to get some stuff out of the way in the morning. So, I get on our,
your workouts are a little bit later in the day.
Yeah, I get on our Facebook group and I answer questions and DMs and I just kind of like catch up with stuff. And then by the time I end up, sometimes I don't end up working out until 11, 12, 1 o'clock. And yeah, it just like hasn't been working for me. So now I've learned I just get up, have a bagel with some peanut butter and banana or avocado toast, or have like some fruit. And that's, helpful for me. But I would, in an ideal world, I would just like to get up, get moving a little bit, and not jump into social media and stuff right away and just like do my workout fasted. But I just get thinking about things and I got to answer people and stuff. So it just ends up getting pushed back. But in a perfect world, that's what I'd like to do. So maybe I'll get back into that.
Making time in the morning for yourself is, it's important.
I know. It's so hard though with a job like this, that like
24/7, so it can be hard.
Pleasure and work sort of like blends. And it's like, I love answering DMs. I love helping people with questions and stuff. And it's like, you're not getting paid for these things, but it's like stuff that you kind of got to do. So yeah, it's kind of it's a weird dynamic. What is running? Someone asked.
What is running? No, I'm just kidding.
I've actually been.
It doesn't look fun.
Can I just throw it out there? I've been for 2 runs in the last 12 hours. Okay. And it feels amazing. And I just put up some stories on Instagram and I don't go very far and I run pretty slow. I shuffle, right? I don't shuffle, but I just got, I just keep my feet moving. I don't worry about, keeping some pace or anything. And I just get out there and I don't put too many expectations out. I'm just like, hey, going to get out and,
nice.
Run to the school and back. And often I just end up going, 2-3 times the distance. But, I've been a little bit stressed with all the, new restrictions and things that are happening and businesses, just everyone's struggling and it's just weighs on my shoulder and getting out there, seeing people walking their dog, smiling, chatting with people, looking at the birds, breathing in the fresh air, moving my body, getting that lymphatic system pump. It's like, it's felt so good. So, just if, get out there for a walk even is better than a run. Run 2 steps if you can't run very far.
Walking is so good. It's so good to get outside and walk.
For me, it's too slow.
No, I know. But I love walking.
I'm just like walking. I'm like, man, I do run slow. I pretty much run sometimes I'll jog and you like walk. Okay? It's pretty funny. So we
haven't answered this question.
Oh.
That's from Tedward the Mighty. Such a good name. Is bench essential, he asks, or are push-ups and dips enough?
Yeah, right on. Good question. So for what, right? But like, no, I don't bench myself, but I also don't have a very good bench. If I like try to put on a lot of weight, I'm not very good at it. But I think, if you think about the movement, like push up, bench press, it's the same thing. Of course, you can like progressively overload with bench press a lot more,
yeah.
But you can always put a backpack on with some books or weights or vegetable broth in it or whatever. I was just thinking of like cartons. I was gonna say milk, but I'm like, no milk.
No milk. Well, dairy-free milk. Or a weighted vest.
A weighted vest is another way that you can increase them. Also putting bands. What I like to do is it's a little hard to figure out at first, but put bands around here, around your back, and then you do push-ups like that, and it gives you so much, and the resistance is amazing because it's like it's not much at first, and then you get here where push-ups start to get easier, right? And it's just like, man, it gets so hard. It just feels I love it. So I don't think so, but you do want to like progressively overload. If you're getting super strong and you're doing like 35 50 push-ups or something like that in one set, then you can't expect to be building a ton of muscle doing that.
Add weight. And then with dips too, same thing. You'd want to add weight and stuff like that. But those movements, push-ups and dips are so good because they're like foundational strength. I'm not saying chest press isn't, but I just feel like being able to move your body weight is so cool. So yeah, it kind of just depends on what you're into. Like, do you want to have huge bench numbers or what?
Federico said I missed a super chat. So Federico, sorry. put your super chat in the comments right now, and or just the question that you asked, and I'll watch it. And I'm sorry that we missed it. We've both been trying to watch, but it must have slipped by really quickly. So sorry if we did miss yours. We do our best. So we'll wait for that to come in, and I will answer another question. The question is, this may have been asked, but I just arrived. What, in your opinion, is the most neglected muscle? So I think probably for me, but for a lot of people, calves, right? But it's a tough one to grow. It's like some people you see, like I look around in line at grocery stores and stuff in the summer, and some people just have like these super skinny ankles and then these huge calves, and then they don't even look that fit. And I'm like, damn, give me some of those calf genetics. But I think calves, and then also I think rear delt is like a big one that is neglected.
I was gonna say rear delt,
and that's really good. That's important for posture, because so much of the stuff we do, pushing, bench press, like overhead, all these they tend to work the front delt and obviously the pecs a lot. But yeah, somebody else said rear delts as well. But yeah, rear delts are a tough one. Even with pull-ups, unless you're really arching your back or doing some sort of Australian row, it's really hard to target them. So yeah, cycling has grown my calves unexpectedly. Amazing. So I'm just going to keep doing that. That would be amazing.
Just keep mountain biking.
Everyone agrees, calves and rear delts.
Calves and rear delts, yeah.
So, and the other thing too is when you start building muscle, I just wanted to flex, that's all. No, I'm just kidding. But when you start building muscle, you notice like the front grows, this grows, your bicep grows, this grows, but then your delt starts to look way smaller because everything else is getting bigger. So that's a really important one to target. Yeah, and a good way to do it is like I like taking like one of those bands and like pulling it like that. It's a really good way. If you have access to one of those one of those machines, that could work as well.
So I haven't seen anything about the super chat that we missed. So,
okay, maybe we got it.
Maybe we got it. And I haven't seen them.
Someone asked, do I intentionally work out my forearms or do they grow with pull movements? Yeah, so I don't know. I don't work out my forearms. I don't really they're not actually that bad, are they? So I think just, I'm not against doing direct forearm work if you want to. By the time I'm done, like my workouts or whatever, and I've worked out all the muscles, I'm like, just like forearms. I'm like, no, that's like, heck no. So
is that like a forearm workout where you're like have a weight like that? You're like that.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, exactly. Doing that thing. We used to do it for hockey.
Not laughing at that.
We used to do it for hockey where you have the thing and you do that. Anyways, no. So I don't work them out, but I figure, with all the gripping, when I was going to the gym, pulling the weights on and off and putting them around, like you end up working them out pretty good. So yeah, I don't work them out on their own.
We have a super chat from Kez and her boyfriend. I'm so glad you said something out, because we've been wanting to say thank you.
Yes.
Her and her boyfriend were the ones that sent us the Raz Al Hanout.
Thank you, Kez.
Thank you so much. It was such a good surprise.
Yeah.
We were like, oh my god, it looks so good too. Like it looks like medicinal.
Yeah, we haven't got into it yet. I don't know why. I love to just savor these things. I just leave it there. I'm like, I can get into that whenever I want. Yeah. It's like I get the present twice. So thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. We have a PO box, and occasionally people send stuff to it, and I just go there every week and I check, and it's like a surprise to me when people spend their own hard-earned money.
Appreciate it. Sometimes it's hard for us to get back to people because we might not have their information, like an email or something like that. But we really appreciate it every time. It's just
okay.
It's amazing.
So Dentalitionist 42 donated $1.99. And he said, do you plan on learning any advanced calisthenics skills? So
thank you for letting us know.
Thank you for that. I feel so bad when I miss these super chats. Oh yeah, that was okay. So advanced calisthenics. So I think I can do some advanced calisthenics maneuvers. Thank you very much. Was that like a little subtle jab? No, I'm just kidding. Probably wasn't. So I can do like the muscle up. I can do like the front lever if you like look quick enough. Or, catch no, I can hold it for a few seconds. But
muscle up's like pretty advanced.
But as far as like
planche
is one that I do want, but I just don't really train towards it. I know the one thing that I'm lacking is getting on the ground and trying the planche, and having, what you got to do is you got to find a wall, you put your head against the wall, and you kind of like this as much as you can. And then you stay there, because if you just try and do that position on the ground without anything to kind of guide you, you end up pulling back. and then you're just in like a regular plank and you're not holding that planche position. So I know that's something that I have to do that I never do. And there's some guides, I think Fitness FAQs, I think he has a really good planche tutorial as well. So I would love that. Like that is the most badass. Even if it was a straddle planche, it would be amazing. And my straddle, because I'm like not very flexible, is like only like that wide. So it would like kind of actually just be a normal planche almost.
You can do some advanced stuff. Like you can do, you know, the dips that you do where you tuck your body in and then you go down into a dip. Like who can do that? It's unreal. Yeah. You know. And then the ring
the
row,
tuck. Yeah, those
crazy.
Are called. Somebody told me yesterday. My friend Dan actually lives in Vancouver. He messaged me and said those are called tuck lever pulls. So that's
so the rows that you did yesterday were tuck lever pulls.
Yeah, it's
oh my gosh, you guys should look that up. That is a crazy movement.
But they're not like flashy ones, right? One calisthenics move that I did learn was the swing 360 regrab the bar. I learned that in LA last year. And that was like, for me, that was like calisthenics highlight. I didn't think I was going to get it. Remember, I just threw in and tried it. And I was like, holy crap. Also wrecked my shoulder doing it, but I did it. Yeah. Never again.
If we lived at Venice Beach, I feel like your calisthenics game would be like,
because it's hard when I try and do stuff out in my backyard that's like a little bit crazy. Like it's not as fun and it's like scary and you know no one's there like cheering me on or saying like, yo, good job. I need that. Peter Cunnington donated $2 and said Russell Brand is going to be at the Vegan Campout 2021. I know, that's crazy.
Hopefully it happens.
Right? Yeah, so I know. You know, I hope that it all happens and all works out and everything like that. We'll have to see. But I am waiting. Got my bags packed, ready to go. We were supposed to have already done that, and you know, this all got in the way. So, yeah, that would be really amazing. But I'm like super nervous. I'm not gonna lie to talk to like that many thousands of people. Oh man.
What are your top 2 sources for protein that are not soybean based?
Don't understand the question.
You're like tofu?
Yeah.
Tempeh?
Well, okay, so top sources. So lentils are like king. Like they're cheap. They're one of the most environmentally sustainable foods that you can grow. Do buy organic if you can. They're so cheap anyways because they are heavily sprayed with
buying organic lentils
Roundup
is important.
Monsanto's concoctions of stuff that are trying to kill us. And so that for sure, lentils. Boom, lentils are like the number one. And then a second one that aren't I mean beans. Obviously beans. Other beans and stuff like that. Depends on how processed you want to go. Because seitan, vital wheat gluten. Yeah. Or seitan is like so high in protein. But ours,
crazy high in protein.
Yeah, I'd say like
and that's not soy based.
Yeah, lentils probably for sure, and then I don't know. I mean, of course, you know, I'll take protein powder is another one of my but I'll have like a scoop per day, so it's like 20 grams of protein. So
there's also like nuts and seeds that are quite high.
Yeah, I don't tend to eat a lot of nuts and seeds on their own though.
No.
Whole. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd say lentils and beans.
Oats can bump your protein up too a little bit. I don't know. There's so much.
I honestly don't think too actively about protein. I know a lot of people always want, but like I'll just like, you know, when I'm making a meal, I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna have some protein in there. Like I'm not just gonna eat like asparagus salad and like I don't know, you know, some strawberries or something. Like I'm gonna have some lentils, some really nice and hearty, you know, maybe a stew or something like that, and then you know a few steamed veg and salad. So yeah, I honestly don't think about it too much, but I do. You know, it does take a while to kind of just like internally like just. You know, constantly like a little protein with this meal, but I don't think about it. Anyways, tell us about your families.
Michaela
Vegan
asked a super chat.
Okay.
Tell us about our families.
Sorry,
I just want to say the name.
Sorry, we're talking a lot at the same time. So Michelle Topfer.
Michaela.
Okay, Michaela Topfer. Can you read the question?
Yes, Michaela asked us. Tell us about your families. Are they vegan, siblings, where they live?
Okay. Recently, I don't know how
we should make it short and sweet because I don't know. Like,
okay, my mom, she within the last several years has transitioned to a more plant-focused diet. You know, she's vegan when she can be. When she goes out with friends and stuff, if there's not a really, you know, if it's really complicated and you know, and she can't figure it out, she kind of just goes with the flow. But for the most part, she knows she feels best eating a plant-based diet. She is she's, well into her 70s, let's just say, and she's not on any medication. She's lost weight. A lot of her joint pain and stuff went away. She used to have terrible acid reflux that was like just crippling for her. And for the most part, that's like completely gone since she's started eating whole foods plant-based. So I'm so proud of her. And not a lot of people that are that age can say that they're not on any medication. It's pretty incredible. So that's her. And then I also have like a sister. They live, she has a family, they live in Ontario, and they do their best to eat healthy, but they definitely don't have a plant-focused way of eating. But whenever they do, make vegan dishes, or the kids are eating like, sort of plant-based meals and stuff, they're definitely like proud of it, and they like to show me that sort of thing. So yeah, that's my side of things. And yeah, that's all my family that's alive still.
And my family, my parents live very close to us, and we actually live in the same town that I grew up in. So we all live really close, which is really nice. And they eat really healthy. They're trying to eat more plant-based and stuff as well. Yeah. And then I also have a younger brother, and him and his wife, they live, is it Down Island from us, and they eat like super healthy. It's pretty incredible.
Primarily plant-based, I think.
Primarily plant-based, and also gluten-free, because there is some like celiac stuff in the family. So yeah.
But
and
the interesting about them is they are very big on the environmental side.
Very environmental. So
that's
really
cool. Their perspective of things, and that's what brought them to it. Whereas Crystal and I, we were a little bit more like, animal kind of thing.
Yeah, we're more ethical. Yeah, we came to veganism as an from ethical, standpoint.
But I would say theirs is ethical as well, because I think, caring for the environment is an ethical choice as well. So,
but they're very environmentally conscious and stuff like that, which is really cool, because that has then mirrored into our life of, wanting to reuse and reduce and stuff like that, and make sure we're trying to be as environmentally conscious as well. So yeah, it's really cool, because it's really nice to have most of our immediate family very close. And yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, thanks for asking.
And whenever we do family dinners and stuff like that, it's always like plant-based.
Which is really amazing, because we're all just so used to that now that it's like there's really like almost like no question anymore. It's like we all just make like plant-based options and stuff like that for each other, and then of course gluten-free stuff as well, so we can all enjoy it. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. I guess somebody asked where we live in Canada. Claudia Rodriguez asked. We live on Vancouver Island. We live mid-island. Not going to give you our address, but we live just in the middle of the island.
Which is off the coast of Vancouver.
Which is off the coast of Vancouver, yeah.
So that, I know it can be confusing when you say Vancouver Island, and people are like, I don't even know where that is.
Yeah, Vancouver is not on or on Vancouver Island.
No, it's not. I know, it's so confusing.
Yeah.
But if you think of Vancouver, British Columbia, which is like obviously a very well-known city, we live on an island that is just off the coast of Vancouver.
Yeah, just further west.
About an hour and a half ferry ride away. And so, yeah, don't tell everyone though, because the island is still kind of,
it's a hidden gem.
It's like a hidden gem. So let's just don't tell anyone, because it's a hidden gem, and it's really nice.
Jenny D has super chat, just a nice donation. No super chat question, but Jenny, thank you so much for that. I hope you didn't miss like putting a question in there, because there was nothing written, but thank you so much for that. That's really kind. So did you guys eat the whole pizzas after you made them? No, we didn't eat the whole pizzas after we made them.
Well, actually, I would say we ate like a good amount of them for sure. I mean, the pizza was so good.
The gluten-free one didn't seem to age as well, let's just say, as the other one. And I think I made my crust like too thick. I got a lot of criticism for like using water that was too hot with the yeast and this, so maybe that was part of it. But it got a little bit dry after a few days. But yeah, it was good. I don't know. It was a learning experience.
We had so much pizza that night though. Like we had some leftovers, but we only had like probably like, I don't know, like four or five pieces maybe left over out of like both pizzas. It was so good. Oh my goodness.
So somebody else asked, Starling's Murmurations, kind of a fun one. You ever eat something that you thought was vegan, but later it turns out it wasn't? So yeah, after like a decade of doing this, you get pretty good at like,
discerning.
Yeah. And yeah, especially like, and we don't,
especially with like things like cheese and stuff. It's like, okay, we know what not real cheese
and
is.
I'm not just, like. And we're not like buying this stuff like willy-nilly.
Yeah,
we're not just like throw it in the cart. It's kind of like, we shop for all the Whole Foods so there's no question there. And then it's like, oh, okay, I'll, buy this product. And if it's something new, we always check it out. So, no, not generally. I think like the most what was the most recent one I did was actually I bought these granola bars that were from a granola company that makes granola. But I ate their granola and it's cool.
Yes,
but then I saw the bars and I was like, heck yeah, I want an actual granola bar from a granola company because it's going to be amazing. And then I brought them home. I was just like, I figured it'd be the same ingredients that are in the granola. And then I got home and Crystal was like, why'd you buy this? There's milk in it. And I'm like, damn it. So I just ate them all anyways. No, I'm just kidding. We actually, what did we give them to your parents or something like that?
Give them away. Yeah, we're just like, oh man.
Or who,
it just doesn't like make you feel good too when you eat stuff like that. I remember, and then also Derek ordered pizza like a few months ago, and then that
was like a year now.
Or like a year ago, and then we went to go and pick it up, and you looked, and you were like, that looks like cheese, and you were like, and then you didn't know, so you put like, I remember you telling me the story. You're like, yeah, I put my tongue to it.
Yeah, I just pulled a little piece off.
Like bloomed with grease and like sour flavor, and he knew instantly because
coated my tongue.
Cheese is a really easy one to like to figure out.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. So
that was so good.
Yeah, so I ate the rest of that pizza. No. I went back inside.
I felt bad though.
I did. I feel a bit bad, but I went back inside and I was like, man, they're gonna be so apologetic because like this is a big thing. And I went back in and I was like, hey, I don't think this is a vegan pizza. Like, can you double check? I'm pretty sure it's not. And the girl was like, oh yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, we'll just make you a new one. And I was like. Yo, I just ate cheese for the first time in 7 years. Like, I could have been allergic to it. And they were just like, yeah, we'll just make you a new one. So anyways, I don't know what I was expecting. Like, a free pizza maybe would have been nice. But hey.
I don't care. They're so busy.
So someone said, keep it up. That's amazing. This is kind of a cool question about the YouTube revenues. Is there another super chat?
Yeah, there's another super chat.
Do you know about the Vancouver Island Vegan Society run by Jordan? I live in Victoria and I know him, and he runs Vegtoria every year. Run for office.
I think he runs for office as well.
Oh, cool. Is Jordan is he like the strong guy? Is he like muscular? If that is him, I've seen him walking around the Vegtoria. If that is him.
I'm not sure, but I know that he does
tattoos.
Runs for there's a party in BC that is
cool.
like kind of based on like animals, animal rights and stuff like that.
So we
don't know him, but we have been to Vegtoria almost every year. And I know about the Vancouver Island Vegan Society as well. Yeah.
Cool.
Viva, isn't it Viva? Vancouver Island Vegan Association. Anyways, yeah. That's really cool. We're not really part of that though because we live
away.
We live so far away from Victoria that it's hard for us to like make commitments to like go down there and stuff like that. But we do know about that, and it's really exciting. We try to support Vegtoria every time, so hopefully it'll be on next year.
Okay, we got a super chat here. Dr. Jamos wants to know the real dirt here. Do you want to read it?
Yes. He asks, thanks for your inspiration and efforts. Do you ever drink alcohol or use recreational cannabis?
Crystal?
I do not. No, I'm completely sober, and I have been for, I think, the last 4 years. And that is, I'm really proud of that actually, because I used cannabis a lot in my younger years as a coping tool and stuff like that. And I do think it has medicinal purposes, of course, but for me, it kind of became a crutch, and I wanted to try life without it, and haven't really looked back. And same with alcohol. I can't handle alcohol at all. Like, it's just not good for me. And I've known this, I knew this for years leading up to the point when I stopped. But it's really easy to just be like, give me a drink. I'll just have one drink. And then, one drink turns into 2, and then that turns into 3. You start feeling really good. And then by the time you know it, you're binge drinking quite often and stuff. So yeah, so I ended up giving all of that kind of stuff up because it just didn't make me feel good. And
all right.
Back.
Next question. No, I'm just kidding. So for me, do I ever drink alcohol or use recreational cannabis? So I am a pleasure seeker. Like I have very addictive qualities. So this is something that I have to be really mindful of. I definitely drank very heavily to the point where it was not healthy. I don't know, whether or not I had a problem. I kind of did, but I definitely, I had to get it out of my life for a while. So that was when I was sort of making a lot of changes. I was vegan, but I was still just seeking those pleasures. And I had to get it out. I had to quit my job working at a restaurant. I had to, because it was never, for me, it was never just like, I'll have a drink after work or I'll just have a beer while I go skateboarding with my friends. It was like,
I'm getting drunk.
Boom! Like, as soon as you open up that door. So I had to get out. I had to, a lot of those friends that I had to not see them anymore because I would try and it would just turn into that. So I had to change my life around because I did not want, I was groggy in the morning. I was sleeping until 1 o'clock, just doing the same thing. Then I was, going to work as a server, staying up late with everybody there, drinking, getting home, drinking even more on my own, and it was bad. So that I had to get out of my life for a long time. And within the last sort of, I would say 2 years, I have introduced it back into my life. And I'm not proud of it. I don't think it's for everybody. I'm just being honest with you guys. And yeah, I really try to only have some when the opportunity comes. Like I try not to make my own opportunities for it.
But you're cultivating, like you have a much healthier relationship with it now because Derek abstained from it it's been almost 7 years that you didn't drink. And then the last couple years you'll have like maybe a drink or two, or like at Christmas or something like that.
If I want. And if I don't want.
And if you don't, then that's fine, right?
Yeah.
So it's not, you have it. It's not like you're back into like drinking.
No, but I also don't keep it in the house. Because if I do, and when I do,
it could get into that, right?
I know how many drinks I have left. I know exactly where they are. Like I know that I'm still an addict. But I also don't want to never have that in my life or never have that opportunity to do that because there are times where I just, am with friends or whatever, and I want to enjoy that and experience that. But I do make a point to never have enough where I'm like drunk, because that's, not where I want to be anymore. And then as far as like the weed goes, if you guys have been following the channel for long enough, you know that I wouldn't necessarily have struggled with it, but I've definitely, I used to smoke it, very heavily, I'd say, and consume it in other ways. And I quit for a long time, and I made a video about it in the Q&A, and I talked about it. And I can't say that I am still 100% free of it. I do consume it from time to time. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And it's not something that I'm proud of, and I don't think my life's better off because of it. But here we are, and I'm going to have to go through some work to get it completely out of my life. But
if you choose to, or you can, have it as something that you do when you relax or something like that,
Yeah, but it's
not a terrible thing, but yes, when you have an addictive personality, you have to be careful with these things, right?
But with drinking, with alcohol, it's like, it's really, it's easy to see that you have a problem because you're like, hey, like my liver's shut down. I'm stumbling around. I can't wake up in the morning, like you're drunk the whole evening, whatever. So it's a little bit, sort of easier to slip into your life. But yeah, that's the truth of it. I don't know if you struggle or you want to know more about it, you could always send me a DM on Instagram.
Someone asked, which we missed, so I'm sorry that we missed your name. But they asked what each of our favorite exercises is, or like weighted exercise, like just if we could pick one, I think the question was. So what is yours?
One weighted exercise?
Like if you could pick like your favorite exercise.
Man. Gosh, that's tough. It's so hard. It's between push-ups and pull-ups. Like they're just so good. I would say, I think I like, pull-ups, I guess. Pull-ups are like just, but you know what? Actually, I like.
What's your favorite exercise with weights?
Oh, with
Love
weights.
From Greece. That's from Johnny. Okay, now I know how to find the super chats that we've missed. So thank you, Johnny.
Oh, really? Sweet.
It seems like I can just scroll over here.
So with weights, what would I say that I like with weights? I don't know. Like bicep curls just feel like really awesome with weights. I don't know. I really like those. Oh, another one I really like is when you put the bench on like an angle and you lay on it like this, and then you have the weights down here, bench here, and you pull like this, and you can use really heavy weights, and it's so good at targeting your lats. Probably targets those pesky rear delts as well. But yeah, that's my favorite.
I like deadlifts, like different variations of deadlifts. They're so fun.
Nice.
They just make you feel so strong. Even if you're not feeling strong that day, you're just like, I'm gonna go and deadlift. But like straight leg deadlifts and stuff like that, those are so good for your hamstrings. And then I also like shoulder presses.
Nice.
They're kind of I don't know. I just feel like they're like Arnold presses too. Oh my goodness, they just feel really good.
Just a quick point. If you have like pretty tricky shoulders, I used to be able to just do these presses and I could go as deep as I wanted. But since I hurt my shoulders, trying the crazy calisthenics moves that I did, and also I was wearing the weight vest too much. That movement has actually gotten pretty hard on this shoulder, but I do find if I come down and I do the Arnold press, it's so much easier on my shoulders. So just throwing it out there, if you can't do overhead press, maybe try that and see how that feels.
So we have a question from Hunter. He says, thank you guys for the videos and great recipes over the years. You're welcome.
Nice.
We love when a new video comes out. Also, I love my Libert banana bars.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. Yeah. You have the Libert banana bars.
Libert,
the limited edition.
Those are sick. The Simnett Nutrition and Libert banana bar. That's still, I can't believe I have like a piece of fitness equipment with my name on it. That's like just so mind blowing to me. They actually just came out with like super XLs. So,
yeah, which is going to be
so that cool. Mine are the XLs, so they're like the tall ones, but they came out with ones that are even like taller. That would be
for the big boys.
Yeah, for the real big boys, I guess. So Pablo Alves, okay. Yeah, thank you, Pablo, for the super chat. Really nice. And he asks, hi, do you eat protein powders in smoothies to obtain more protein? How much? And the second question is, how many times a week is good to train it's good to train a group of muscles if you're a beginner and you want to build muscle. Okay, cool. So yes, I do have protein powder in my smoothies most of the time. I will put a scoop in, sometimes just a half a scoop. But yes, I do consume that. And yeah, I love having smoothies after my workout. Love lots of fruit and everything in there. But it is a fairly low protein meal, and it would be totally fine if you just had smoothie, not a lot of protein, and then you ate a couple hours later, you ate a higher protein meal. That'd be great. But I just like to cram it all in there. So that's what I do. But it makes me feel awesome after my workouts.
And then what's the best way to build muscle? Like how many times should you be hitting a muscle group if you're a beginner and you're looking for those new gains?
So I would probably start with man, it's so hard, but I would say an upper body, lower body split. I would do upper body, lower body, and then see where you are after that. Maybe take a rest day and do it again. I think that could be really good. You could also just do total body and do it, one day on, one day off, one day on, one day off sort of thing.
Or push and pull.
But that's what I found.
Legs type of thing.
Yeah, I found the push-pull leg split has always served me since I started, and it's been really easy for me to sort of navigate in my head. Even though when I was starting out, I didn't know what muscles I was using. I just knew different pushing movements, different ways was what I was doing one day, and pulling movements, other ways was what I was doing the next day, and then the last day I would do legs, and I would mix abs in there.
I'm just kidding. And then just go right back into the push and pull.
But I think that's okay. I think that's okay for beginners. But what I wouldn't recommend for beginners is doing arms one day, chest next day, shoulders next day, legs last day, because then you're then you're waiting so long until you hit those muscle groups again, where you really gotta be hitting each muscle group within 48, 72 hours in order to elicit muscle growth. So I think that's really important. And a lot of the people that you see online that might be taking stuff or whatever, that's the kind of, those are the splits that they do because
they can't grow muscle, hitting them once a week.
Muscle protein synthesis lasts so long that they can do that. So yeah, if I don't recommend that for natural lifters or for beginners either, but that's just me. I don't know. I always feel I'm not a pro at this. People think I should be because I've managed to, build some muscle and I've stayed consistent for a long time, but honestly, just put in a lot of effort and just really focus on good squeeze and really good stretch, and just work really hard and stay consistent. Adam Lee, super chat, says, I just bought a treadmill desk. I'm working from home. Nice. Have you experienced any benefits from the pandemic? Lol. Okay. So standing desk, amazing. I would love to get into it. I find whenever I try and start standing up, I'm I'll do a few things. And then I'll get an email I got to think about or a comment that I'm, really into. And then I'll just be and I'll take my computer and then I'll sit down and then I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I don't even think about it. So I guess it takes some training for sure. But yeah, if you can do it, that's amazing. Like the sitting is like one of the quickest ways to age yourself and to like see your body change in a bad way. So less sitting that we can do, the better. And he's standing, so he's doing good. Or was it a standing or walking desk?
It was a walking
treadmill,
desk.
even better. That's amazing.
My goodness.
Has anything positive for us come out of the pandemic?
I think learning about ourselves, like I've learned that it's really important to be resilient. I've learned that stress and what happens to people who might not even be in my life, like what's happening to everyone around the world with different lockdown situations and stuff, really affects me. So I've just basically learned that I'm like a really sensitive person, and that sometimes it's really easy to get too much on your phone and stuff because you're anxious, and then you can like rely on just like scrolling.
Take your mind off it.
To take your mind off of it, and then at the end of the day you just feel like crap because you're taking in so much information and then you can't process your emotions. So that's what I've learned about myself. I've also learned that my body is so resilient. When the gyms closed, I was like, I'm gonna lose all my gains, like my life is over. And I just, I had to adapt, and I worked out from home, and we don't have heavy weights here, and my body has kept me going, and I'm so thankful for that. And that has really helped me because, I think we all at some points in our life can struggle with body image and being really hard on our bodies, especially as women. And it has really helped me realize that like my body is here to like hold me as a person, and it might change and look different, but at the end of the day, it's still good because it's here to take care of me. And that's really helped. So more of the like emotional things I feel like has been good for me.
Yeah. I feel that.
What about you?
I feel for me, that it's taught me like tolerance, because everybody is so divided on topics. And I think, I think the media plays a large part of us having to sort of pick sides, when in reality, we all want the same things. We all want, we all want a equal opportunity. We want to feel safe and secure. We all want to feel loved. We want to feel a sense of community. We want to feel that we're being supported in our health. All these things, we all want the same things. So that's what I've kind of learned from this, is that some people will go about it in a different way. And that's the main thing. And when I see people doing something that I don't agree with, I know that, they're just doing the best that they can with what they have. And I just try and not take that in personally if it's different than what I think or what I believe. Does that kind of make sense? Realizing
that people in these unprecedented times, because right now we're collectively going through a very traumatic experience, having to stay, be basically some people were like locked down, they could not leave their homes. We're lucky that we can leave if we want to, go out into nature. We're very lucky, but some people don't have that. This is really traumatic. Like what we're going through is so traumatic for everyone, and we're all processing that in different ways. And so you might see that come up for people, or people in your family, that they're processing trauma in a different way that you are, but giving people grace at this time. And like you said, seeing people react in different ways than maybe you would, or seeing people do things that you might not agree with, just understanding that they're coming from a place that, they're processing trauma, and it might be different, and it might look way different. It might come from a place of anger and all this kind of stuff. So yeah. That's kind of, I guess, more emotional things. I mean, other than that, there hasn't really been.
Yeah, definitely. I don't.
It's been hard.
I can't say my fitness has improved, but my biking skills have. But yeah, it's been tough, and I just want you guys to know, like it affects me like a lot. I think a lot of us that come into this lifestyle, with whether it's for the animals, for the environment, for our health, we are empathetic. We're more empathetic than a lot of other people, and I think, or not necessarily more, but people that are drawn to this lifestyle are often very empathetic, and that means that we take on things, we take on the emotions and feelings of others around us, and I think that this is especially hard on people like us. So just understand that, it affects us both out there, and I don't always feel overly inspired. Some days I do, some days I don't. Like today, for instance, if you look at my stories, I felt super inspired to get out there, and I want to, because I realized that we have to take our health into our own hands. People, it's
what's so important to make sure that we are staying as healthy as possible, to make sure that we're moving our bodies, to make sure that we're doing things to help our mental health. Because right now it's very, very difficult. It's very trying, and it's very easy to slip into like dark places.
Yes.
And not put maybe a lot of weight on those things, right? Like we're looking for comfort things right now.
Exactly.
It's really difficult. And so,
but I think the better that we can eat, you know, the better we'll feel, the clearer our mind will be, the more that we can deal with these stresses and things that are coming on around us. Not to mention, you know, the health aspect and the, you know, the immune aspect. I don't even know if you can freaking say that word anymore. It's crazy. Anyways, let's get off of that topic, or more if you guys want to ask me more questions about it. But
Chris Williams messaged us.
Oh, nice.
And they just sent us a really nice super chat. Thank you guys.
No questions.
Hopefully you guys are really doing well, especially in New Zealand.
Yeah, I want to go to New Zealand. There's a lot of people that compare New Zealand to Canada. The people,
it looks amazing.
And it looks beautiful. I actually had a friend years ago that was from New Zealand. One of the kindest guys ever. And yeah, if anybody's, if you're like that over there, they're good people over there in New Zealand. So
we're almost at an hour and a half. So
okay.
I think maybe we'll end at an hour and 30, just because these lives can go on forever. And, you know, these lives are really great for us. I know it's really fun for you guys to watch us live, but this like helps us inspire us as well, because like Derek was saying, we don't always feel inspired. And I think it's really easy to think the content creators and stuff that you watch online, or even the people in your life you might see who are just, you know, putting out stuff or trying to be inspiring and stuff, they might not feel like that every day, because, you know, creativity can get zapped in these times. It's really hard to keep feeling inspired when so many things are going on. And so these lives are a great way for us to connect, but it's also really inspiring for us to see all you guys in the comment section, like commenting and just, it's such a positive space.
And that's really helped me, is like remembering my why, like remembering why did I start this? Because I get caught up being like, well, you know, I want to like, you know, everything seems so insignificant right now. At least that's for me. It's like, I go to like make a video on like sauce, and I'm like, you know, like businesses are closing, like people are getting sick. It's just like, it's hard. What is this sauce? How is this going to help anybody? But I have to remember the why and why I started this. And it was to get people off the couch, get people moving, take your health into your own hands, because nobody's going to do it for you. Sure as heck, the powers that be aren't going to do it for us. So that's why it's important that we stay as healthy as we can, to think as clear as we can, to be as compassionate as we can. And I think that's really important. Somebody keeps asking, and Bella, I see your question. I just don't want to talk about Vivolife too much on this chat. She's asked a few times, and understandably so. Vivolife whole and caramel biscuit, I bought it recently. What are your thoughts on that versus Perform? So they have like three kind of lines of like sort of protein / whole food supplements or meal, not a meal replacement, but it's like Ritual is sort of like the most stripped down one that they have, that is just like the protein powder. And so that's that one. The Perform has like some supporting anti-inflammatory components in it, like tart cherry and stuff that's supposed to help with recovery. And then Whole is their newest supplement that is like has protein in it, but also has like a bunch of greens powders and a bunch of other. It
has fats and carbs in it as well, so it's meant for more, not a meal replacement, but more. It gives you a little bit more. So that's the difference.
First of all, it tastes phenomenal, like one of the best tasting like powders really of anything I've ever had, that caramel biscuit. And so for that, usually what I would do is just like, if I'm really quick running out the door, I just mix it up with like a banana or a frozen banana and some berries or something, and just that in there, and I get out the door. If I have time, I'll either use the Ritual and the Perform, and I'll make like a really nice smoothie with like flax seeds and stuff like that. So hopefully that answers your question. Sorry you had to ask it like 100 times, but I just don't, you know, like I don't want to just constantly talk about the things that I'm like selling and stuff like that. And there's just so much out, especially this week and Black Friday coming up. It's like, so anyways, Thomas Beardsworth, thank you so much for constantly inspiring, educating, and entertaining. It is helping to change the world one day at a time. Keep shining, man. So kind. Like, that makes me feel really good. I get the nicest messages, and these really do help keep me going. And that's it. That's what I realize. Sometimes I get overwhelmed, and I think I have to create the best video I've ever created because, you know, as humans, we always want to do a little bit better. You know, it's like, we never want to go back. And, you know, for running, we want to run faster. For getting stronger, we want to lift more weights. And that's the thing. And I think about that too. And I'm like, dang. And that's what stops me a lot of the time. And then I just remember I'm in a position for some reason that all I have to do is show up, and I can inspire some people. Like, I bet you a handful of people went out for a run today just because I put it on my stories. And like, that's like so powerful. So if all I have to do is show up and like demonstrate, you know, what I'm doing, it helps to keep me accountable. And if I can inspire you guys, it's even better. getting a little teary-eyed. It always happens. I know it's time to get off of this when I start tearing up because I'm so thankful for all this. But so say that name.
Sophia
Pater. Isn't it an accent that way? It means, anyways.
We're not really good with accents.
Sophia.
But I think maybe this will be the last question.
Because it is a super chat. And there's a lot of zeros behind that number. I'm not sure what.
I don't know the currency. I can't tell. But she asked, do you want me to ask it? It's like an interview.
Yeah.
How do you lean out as much as possible to stay healthy? And she says that she's lost 55 kilograms naturally, vegan now. And I've had some plastic surgery. After the surgery, I have difficult time to get as lean as before. Interesting. So I don't know what surgery...
You know,
if that means like skin or like
possible, but stay healthy. Like right. I've lost 55 kilograms naturally.
I mean, let's be honest, 55 kilograms is a lot of weight.
That is like almost my body weight.
A lot of weight. Yeah. So, I think you're 65.
65, 66 kilograms. I saw a couple people ask that.
So you might be at a point where your body's like, I'm happy.
And it might taper off and just become a little bit slower now, but you just got to keep doing the things that you know that will help get you there. So I would, don't do anything extreme. We got to be kind to our bodies, but yeah, just continue to eat whole foods and continue to exercise. High intensity interval training is like a really good way to sort of like supercharge your body. If you can handle it, that's always, that's always good. Not sure how, of your age or anything like that, but that can be really helpful. But also after surgery, our bodies, will take a long time to heal, and there's a certain amount of inflammation that will occur after something like a surgery, and it could be, it might not just be local to whatever area you had surgery on. It could be a little bit more systemic, and your body is just like repairing. So just give it some time. Lots of anti-inflammatory foods, and I think so. I don't want to give you anything specific, like eat this certain food or eat this many calories, because I don't know enough about you, but.
She said she had skin removal surgery.
Wow.
So that's gonna, when you have skin removal surgery, you're gonna have like some scarring, and then there's gonna be tissue there and like all that kind of stuff. So I know it can be, it can be difficult. It takes a long time to heal, depending on where you are. Like sometimes you can't even move depending on where you get the skin removed, like your back or something like that. Yeah. And so like, it sounds like you're doing amazing. And it sounds like you've gotten so far that you were even able to do that surgery, which means that you've lost a lot and that you've done great. And so, be kind to yourself, and just know that you're so healthy right now that it will just take time, and that your body might just be a little, happier right now. And that like continuously to pushing it in an unhealthy way might not be the best, but supporting it in a healthier way and noticing that, changes will take a little bit more time now. So is like the best. Oh my gosh, Tom, we're trying to get off of this. Tom,
I know, but that's okay. Hey, you keep feeding the money. Yeah. And the monkey keeps playing the drums. No, I'm just kidding. Tom Benz. First of all, it's a cool name. You were my first inspo to dive into nutrition research, hoping to be a primary care physician. So you've helped the lives of many future patients.
That's cool.
The ripple effect is strong. You can never know how strong it is. Like you will never know. So, people out there that, you think, you might not have a huge following or whatever, like people are watching, and like, this guy here, like he's going to go on to help so many people. Tom Benz, not saying he has a big following or small following or that it even matters. I'm just saying we all play an amazing role in this.
He's going to become a doctor and help people and hopefully, help them just eat more plants and stuff like that. I mean, like that's so important.
Incredible.
So important.
Because we need more plant-based physicians, because so many people put so much weight on what their doctor says. And a lot of the time we know that the doctors, they just, you come into the office, they got to give you something to deal with your symptoms and get you out there fast, and you want solutions fast. That's most people, right? But we know that, diet and lifestyle is, the ultimate healthcare. So, that's amazing, Tom. For me to be like, the sort of, the influence of people to like start looking into nutrition or go plant-based is really powerful really for me, and like so heartwarming, because I still remember the first people that I followed, when I first went plant-based. Right. And although I don't necessarily follow them that closely anymore, I'll just always remember that, and just like opening my eyes to it, being like, holy crap. Like this
they were like the one little piece that kind of got you.
Yeah. The red pill. So, Dude,
Okay,
this has
awesome.
been like one of my favorite lives yet, and it just flew by. Like I feel like I'm just getting warmed up, but we're gonna go because you know, yeah, I got things to do, and I'm sure you guys do as well. But thank you so much, and yeah, I just like so much love to all you guys, and just remember to like, you know, be kind and compassionate to everyone out there. And you know, things are really divisive right now, and really strange. But the more compassion, patient, loving that we can be, the better we're going to get through this all together. Oh no, Thomas Villa says, I missed the super chat. If you can put it in the comments in the next 45 seconds, we will answer it. I'm sorry if we missed it. It's hard. There's a lot going on. But yeah, we do our best. I also want to say that we've had the most people tuned in for this super chat that I ever have. We usually get around 500 to 600 people. We were up to 800 people at one point, which is like amazing. I don't look at it. I try not to look too much at the numbers, but like, is it ever amazing?
Okay. So we do have one more super chat. We're not okay. This is from Falador, and he says, "I love your videos and recipes. I'm so proud of you for using the Mexican sauce, Valentina. Valentina is the best. I want you to be my dietitian."
What do I have to do? Oh man.
Oh, if I want, I don't know if he says if I want to be a dietitian or if I want.
If I want you to be my dietitian, what do I have to do?
I'm not sure.
I'm not doing. Yeah, if that's for me, I'm not doing one-on-one consulting anymore. I just don't have the time to, you know, to engage with people the way I would want to. So yeah, I mean, for the right price, I think anything's possible. But no, but yeah, Valentina's hot sauce is so good. I actually had somebody message me one time and was like, "That stuff's death. It gave me ulcers. I was eating it on everything. I was going through like a bottle every 2 days. You shouldn't eat it." And I'm like,
that's probably the problem.
I'm like, hold on. I just have like one bottle in my fridge for like 3 months, and like. But anyways, I just thought that just reminded me of that. And Team Red Hot. Okay, yes, the live is ending. Simeo Kramer, he's like, I gotta go to bed. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Yeah, definitely, if you are interested in that vegan bundle, you know, 80 recipe ebooks, guides, meal plans from all different types of influencers and doctors in there and everything. There's even Mastering Diabetes in there, which is like, that I think is the, you know, one of the most important books in there for a lot of people.
There's the book in there, or just an ebook on that?
The ebook on Mastering Diabetes, not the full book, but tons of help. And
the full book is amazing. So that's amazing that they have that.
Yeah. So anyways, it's $50. You know, it goes to support your boy here, Crystal. And then also all the other creators that are in that bundle. And it's just like a really amazing thing that we're able to all do this together. So guys, thank you so much. Much love. I hope you guys have a good day. Get out there, move your bodies, smile at people, inspire others to do the same. That's it. Thank you so much, Crystal. You're like just the shining light of these lives, I swear.
Bye, everyone.
Keep waving.